Warrior's Mindset. I was just perusing through that again. I often go back and look at that and see what happens to humans when they go under duress and whatnot. So that's always fascinating to me. And then find a book about a guy who did something really hard. There's plenty of Medal of Honor recipient books out there. There's Roy Benavides' story, or the stories of like Flags of Our Fathers. It really focuses on the 5 guys who put the flag up at Iwo Jima. Band of Brothers, of course, things like that. But yeah, I think if a soldier wanted to come in and you want to get a kind of a look on how men can do this, and women, it's On Killing and On Combat. Those are two great choices. 22-100 tells us be, know, and do, right? And I think I think the Army Leadership Manual is legit. It's in the Ranger Handbook too, things like that. So to be purposeful, and then to know what those assets are, yourself, your men, the equipment, and then to do it, be the first guy in line. Teddy Roosevelt, what did he say? He said, leadership is easy. It's just being all you can be all the time with everything you have. And Patton has a great, I think when I was on a promotion board long ago, they said, what does leadership mean to you? And this is one of the great questions that really are super hard to answer. There's so many real reasons why, what makes good leadership. But he would say, leadership is not telling someone how to do it, but asking them to do the task, right? And there's task condition standards, and that wasn't in the quote, and then having them surprise you with their ingenuity. So some of that's true too. I mean, without a doubt, everyone's different, right? All your subordinates are always going to be different. The men you work around are going to be different. So some people need cajoling and booted, and other people don't, but it all depends on, who you're leading, really. But certainly to be an example, you're going to have to be an example. And I'll tell you, if we have a moment, there was a time, I have a 29-year-old son, and there's a time now he's a part of management for his company, and he does a pretty good job. But his friend, a good friend of his, drinking buddy back in the, all that stuff back in the day, he's a subordinate.
Yeah.
And he's complaining to my son about the work environment or the tasks at hand, and he's not having any of it. And I said, now you see, here's a cool moment in your life now. You've already excelled past this young man, but you're friends with him, and you're part of a better team. So now, it's an interesting place where you have to, as a friend now, now he's a subordinate. There's a really magical time in a man's life when he becomes a leader, and he can't hang out with the subordinates anymore. When you become a staff sergeant, you become even sergeant sometimes, you can't hang out with the kids anymore. Yeah. Now you're part of, you're different. You have to act accordingly. You can't get drunk. You can't carry on outside somewhere where you can be seen. Right. And there's a lot of different examples like that. But to me, as a civilian, because I'm the chief bottle washer.
Okay.
I'm all of it. And if I don't hustle, then nobody's going to hustle. I don't have an operations sergeant major that says, range 35 is now for you.
Right.
I don't put it in an order and say, hey, Paul, get me the shoot house today.
Yeah.
And I'll go to shoot house. Go do your thing. Yeah. It's not like that. I'm the guy who has to either coordinate with someone or ask someone to do it for me. Of course, then I have to pay them. So and it's and I'm telling you, there's times where I just had this discussion with another professional just the other day. There's times where I don't want to do it. I loathe social media, but I know I have to. I really have to be more active in it than I am right now. I hate it, but there's other things. I need to do more stuff on YouTube. I need to do more stuff. But I don't. There's plenty of times I don't want to do it. Yeah. Plenty. I'd much rather be on the line or be in the shoot house. That's where I want to be. I want to be teaching. If hey, anybody out there listening, if there's a real good operations sergeant major out there who wants to do operational stuff and doesn't want to get paid a lot, I need somebody. Right now the AR platform rifle is certainly the most widely used sporting rifle of all time, probably. And what was it designed in the 60s? I still love it. It's a great design. So a favorite though, I don't know. one of my most favorite rifles is the M1 Garand battle rifle. I have a 1944 Garand, and it's a retirement gift. So that was very cool.
Very cool.
The way it was presented to me blew me away. So I was blown away. It was, arguably it's the weapon that won World War II. It's a semi-automatic, of course. Also where we get the name clip, because it was a clip in there. But I love it. And on Evolutionary Gunfighter, where I do my course, I'll bring it out. And so that's one of the cool things the students get to do is shoot on them. They have to load it on the move, and they have to run 100 meters and 100 meters back.
Very cool.
With this big stick.
Yeah.
So I make them run 100 meters, and then they do a CQB, it's short distance, right? So basically CQB distance. They have to shoot 4 targets, and once you hear that ping, the clip comes out. They got to run all the way back and put it down, and then pick up a AR platform rifle. We just do a multiple gun thing. So. Yes, and I really liked my team in my time as a weapons squad leader in Ranger Battalion, and I love the MG42, and I'm a history guy, like I said. So I got this Garand. I'd love to have an MG42. I don't have a Class 3 license, so I don't have a fully automatic weapons, but I'd love to be able to mess around with an MG42 whenever I wanted to. Yeah, but pipe dream. Number 1, don't ever quit.
I love it.
That's it, right? I mean, how many segue, right? You've seen guys, you heard these stories, or, guy on his unknown distance road march, he's hurt or whatever. He says he's hurt, and he gets on a truck, and it's only 200 meters up the road. You couldn't have done that. You couldn't. Oh no, let me get off the truck. No, too late. You cash it in. Don't ever quit. Don't ever quit. Don't ever quit. Right? Be able to do 5 miles before you ever get into the Army. Be able to do 5 miles in 40 minutes. That's key. And be able to move under a heavy load, right? 40 or more pounds, undulating terrain in 15-minute miles. And that's, if you can do that, you'll be fine. And just don't stop. Don't stop. Don't worry about it. If I was telling this guy, if you're doing a road marching and you, obviously there may be telephone wires or electric wires, and there's poles. Well, if you get to a point where you're dying, right, just go to the next pole. Just go to the next pole. Just go to the next pole. Yeah. And, think about something else. I remember these kids that were in our company at the time. I remember this one guy at the company, Purdue. His name Purdue. He was such a long shot. He never did make it. Had RFS him, but he was dying on a road march, and I'm like, all right, let's. Whose face is on the quarter? Whose face is on the penny? Let's go. Let's talk about politics. And I would just go through. All right, who's on a $50 bill, or and just go through. What was the? Well, I don't know. I'd just give them stuff to think about, other than my feet hurt.